one of the things that I do appreciate about Stoicism is that it is this highly self-forgiving as well as other forgiving philosophy. Epictetus says at some point something very interesting in the discourses. He says, the beginner blames other people. The person who has made progress blames only himself. And the person who is really wise doesn't blame anybody.
Wow.
Right? So the notion being is like, no, forget blame. Forget it, both self-blame and other blame. That doesn't get you anywhere. The only thing is, ask yourself every day, am I moving in the right direction? And yeah, sometimes you're going to slide back. Sure. So what? You pick up in the following day and start over.
Right.
That's okay.
And the beauty is that you're the one who has the power to forgive yourself, which is what I
Correct.
loved.
Yes, that's how Seneca explains one of the Stoic exercises, right? The evening diary or the evening meditation. Near the end of On Anger, he actually gives you a pretty detailed explanation of how you're supposed to do it. And one of the things that he says there is like, it's very nice to, at the end of the day, to go over what you've done, to forgive yourself for things you've done wrong, to accept and appreciate the things you've done right, and then go to bed.
Right.
And it's like your conscience is clear. It's like it is in your power to forgive yourself, and then to say, tomorrow I'll do better.
Love that.
Yeah, that's it. Right? So perfection is a bad idea. It's really a bad idea.
Right.
What's meant by the concept everything has two handles?
That's in Epictetus, and you find it in I think both in the Discourse and the Enchiridion. But in Enchiridion, there's this famous phrase where he says that things have two handles. One of which sometimes it's difficult to pick up things from one handle, and so you want to pick up from the other handle. This example is a student who apparently had a problem with his brother, and he said, my brother's been treating me badly. And Epictetus says, well, you can pick up the situation from that handle, from the point of view that your brother treated you badly, and that's going to be a tough one because you're going to disagree about what bad is, and I think he thinks he's right, you think you're right. It's not going to go anywhere. Or you can decide to pick it up from the other handle, which is that he's your brother, you grew up together, and you love him.
Right.
So forgiveness. Right. So that doesn't mean that the brother didn't necessarily do something wrong. He might have done something wrong. But the point is, you want to look at the situation from a different perspective. One is constructive. So the handle you should try to pick up the situations is a constructive angle and handle, not the antagonist one.
Right. I like that because instead of valuing a sort of short-sighted or short-term perspective of I'm angry at my brother right now, you tackle it from another perspective, from a long-term perspective where I'm still going to be having a relationship with my brother.
That's right.
So I should tackle this a different way where we discuss it not where I make the situation necessarily worse, but in a way where we can still have our relationship after this discourse.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works. I mean, I actually went through exactly that situation a few years ago with one of my brothers. There was it was a disagreement between us, and of course, each one of us was absolutely convinced that we were right. And it went on for a while, and we obviously I saw that the situation was deteriorating. We were just not talking that much to each other, and so at some point, I just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" without even talking about what the issue was. And to my surprise, although Epictetus wouldn't be surprised probably, he just acted as if nothing had happened, and our relationship resumed, and it has flourished since. Now, we haven't settled that particular issue, but the question is, well, was it that important to settle it? Right? I mean, I have my opinion. I still have the original opinion. I haven't changed my opinion. I think he was wrong on certain things, and of course, he still has his opinion. But ultimately, in the long run, it doesn't matter. Because we're still brothers, we still have a good relationship, and we're just going to be implicitly agreeing to disagree about that specific issue. Why should that specific issue, however, dominate